October 27th. Even though it feels a little bit this morning like a December morning, it is not. But this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including an off-duty police officer helping to catch a burglar, a woman who allegedly stole from her date, now denying that claim. We also have front page previews with John Kovach and more. Kevin Coleman is with us for a Nutmeg Sports update, and later on, Donald Ang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Bridgeport man was arrested early Wednesday morning with some help from an off-duty officer. That following a burglary at Scooter's convenience store on Bridgeport Avenue in Shelton. At about 1:30 in the morning, Shelton police responded to a burglar alarm at the convenience store. Upon officers' arrival, they discovered that the front door glass had been smashed and the store had been burglarized. After watching the store's surveillance video, two men could be seen pulling up to the store in a silver Pontiac just prior to burglarizing it. Shelton detective Christopher Nugent, who was working an overnight private duty job on Bridgeport Ave, witnessed a silver Pontiac pass him just prior to that burglary, and he happened to take note of the license plate. A be on the lookout warning was subsequently issued to surrounding towns regarding that Pontiac in question, and at about 3 in the morning, Bridgeport police stopped that Pontiac, matching the description of the one used in the burglary. Shelton officers responded to Bridgeport and spoke with the operator, identified as 21-year-old Kenny Tapia of Bridgeport. Tapia was wearing similar clothing to one of the men seen in the surveillance footage. Burglary tools and rolls of coins were also allegedly located in his vehicle. He was arrested. Shelton police are still investigating that incident and say additional arrests are expected. And the Ridgefield Police Department arrested an Islip, New York man on conspiracy to commit larceny in the 2nd degree and conspiracy to commit larceny in the 6th degree on October 25th. Police said Nicholas Cilio, 32 years old, stole several lotto tickets from the Valero gas station at 603 Danbury Road back on August 5th, along with 33-year-old Ryan Raimundo, also of Islip, New York. Ridgefield cops arrested Raimundo for larceny, and he appeared in court last week. According to a report, Suffolk County Police arrested Cilio on unrelated charges on Thursday, October 20th, when they learned that Ridgefield police were holding a warrant for his arrest. You can get more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And in other news, Stanford's longtime high school swim coach has been placed on leave after athletes were made to practice in a pool that wasn't chlorinated, making several of them sick. The Stanford Advocate reports that members of the West Hill Stanford Girls Co-op swimming and diving team complained about the conditions of the pool before practice started last Thursday. However, practice still took place and several girls later experienced adverse physical reactions. Rick Lewis, a countywide Hall of Famer, and his assistant coach were instructed to avoid communicating with student swimmers as the district investigates how they handled the situation. Members of the team have been interviewed by administrators as part of that investigation, according to sources that spoke to the Advocate. Details of what happened in the pool last week and the symptoms of the swimmers who were affected were not disclosed, nor was the name of that assistant swim coach. The girls are now recovering, officials said. City spokesman Elizabeth Carlson said health inspectors were called to the school on Thursday and discovered that the pool had no chlorine. West Hill officials closed the pool to rechlorinate it later that day, and the pool was deemed safe to reopen on Monday. And a pathway leading from the Connecticut Audubon Coastal Center in Milford to the water reopened yesterday after being closed since October 7th due to fire damage. The wooden walkway was damaged during a fatal car fire earlier this month. The wooden planks that were damaged have been removed, uncovering the sand beneath. Pedestrians can now walk across the sand to access the rest of the boardwalk. One Audubon spokesman said the sandy walkway will suffice until funds can be raised to replace those wooden planks. Milford fire officials determined that the fatal car fire that damaged the walkway was accidental. 72-year-old resident Richard Ware died in that October 7th blaze. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports that despite claims to the contrary, Westport police say they busted the correct woman in the bilking of a first date for a $300 gift card at a local high-end eatery. The story, which made the New Haven woman, 27-year-old Catherine Stonick, infamous on the web, was disputed in a published report Wednesday. But Westport police are standing by their investigation. Stonick, who the victim knew as Sophie, was having dinner with the man at Finalmente Trattoria at 165 Post Road East in Westport back on August 17th when the alleged theft occurred. After the victim paid for the meal, Stonick left the table to use the restroom and on the way allegedly asked the manager for a gift card to be paid for with that same credit card. She's accused of returning to the restaurant on the next 2 nights and dined again with the gift card. Speaking with her attorney to the Hartford Courant, Stonick said she's never been to that Westport restaurant and has never met the man accusing her of theft. Police said the victim of the alleged crime noticed that Stonick was acting strangely enough that he took down the license plate number of the car that she was driving, which came back as the vehicle registered to Stonick. The man also said he was 100% positive that Stonick was the correct person in the photo lineup. During the investigation, police said Stonick was given many opportunities but did not call back the investigating officer and generally did not cooperate. But switching gears now and taking a look at the forecast, there were some hazardous weather conditions declared in the tri-state area this morning. There was a light mixture of snow and sleet in New York and New Jersey at sunrise that spread north into Connecticut. But for the rest of the day, there is a slight chance of snow, but it's going to be mostly rain now. High near 46 degrees, light and variable wind becoming east 5 to 8 miles per hour in the morning. Chance of precipitation 100%. Tonight, rain before 1 a.m., then showers likely mainly between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. Friday, it's going to be partly sunny with a high near 53, but breezy. And Friday night, mostly clear, low around 38. Saturday is going to be a good day. Mostly sunny with a high near 59 degrees, some light wind, but it's probably going to be the best day of the weekend. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Kevin Coleman has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more coming up after this. Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. And you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best, offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A apples to Z zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com. At Whip Blow Dry Bar and Salon of Ridgefield, it's all about creating a hassle-free, high-end experience for the entire family. Open 7 days a week, the makeup and hairstyle salon on Governor Street has it all. From color services, men's haircuts with a complimentary microbrew, affordable kids cuts, and more. And our blowout package includes a shampoo, scalp massage, blowout of your choice, and a lipstick application done by a celebrity makeup artist. Download the Whip Salon app to view the styles and book appointments. Get more information at whipsalon.com, 203-442-6444, or find Whip on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
On Election Day in Connecticut, the HAN network has you covered with real-time results and analysis.
Will your town vote for Trump or for Clinton?
And who will be representing you in Hartford and in Washington, D.C.? HAN's news reporters and editors will be out in the field talking to the candidates, collecting results, and we'll be breaking it all down on air with live local analysis you won't find anywhere else.
Watch Connecticut Election Night 2016 live starting at 8 p.m. on HAN.network.
We're back on this Thursday, October 27th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don, what do you have for us today?
Kate, well, we start off in 1553 with the death of Michael Servetus. You probably don't know who he is, but he made some remarkable contributions. First of all, the writings of Ptolemy are known to the West because of his translation work. His maps of Europe and astronomical charts are among the most accurate to date in the 16th century. He also was the first person to accurately describe the movement of blood through the human body. Anyway, on this date, he was burned at the stake for questioning the tradition of infant baptism. 1858, Roland Macy opens Macy's department store in New York City. It was his 8th business venture. The other 7 all failed, including a dry goods store in Massachusetts called Macy's. The store relocated to its current Herald Square location in 1902. 1970, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice release Jesus Christ Superstar, their first successful musical piece. It was released as a double LP concept album. It would only later become a smash hit Broadway musical of the same name. The original recordings featured 2 future one-hit wonders, Murray Head, who charted in 1985 with the song called One Night in Bangkok, and Yvonne Elliman, who hit #1 with the disco single If I Can't Have You in 1977. Finally, now we go to 1904, where we first saw this. Well, we saw it, but you're not hearing it now. That is actually the first subway line ever opened in New York City. That film was shot just a matter of weeks after the line opened. It went 9 miles through 28 stations from City Hall through Grand Central Terminal, then along 42nd Street to Times Square. The line concluded at Broadway in Harlem. The New York subway system now consists of 28 lines, 846 miles of track, and 469 stations, serving more than 5 million riders every day. That is your look back in history for today, October 27th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. If you want, I can bust into I Don't Know How to Love Him. I mean, I did learn that in middle school.
I was wondering if you were like discoing there during the read.
But all right, thanks so much, Don. In other news, according to the Stratford Star, Susan Collier is resigning as Stratford's finance director. Collier issued her resignation, which is effective Friday, October 28th, according to a statement from the office of Mayor John Harkins. Collier has been working for Stratford since 2007. Officials said, "We thank Susan for her service to the town of Stratford and wish her much success." Chief Administrative Officer Chris Timniak will work with existing finance department staff and fill in while the administration seeks Collier's replacement. You can look for updates on that story at stratfordstar.com. But let's throw it over to Kevin Coleman, doing a great job this week, filling in for Frank Granito with our Nutmeg Sports Update.
I appreciate that. Thank
we're
you, Kate.
happy to have
Thank
you.
Yeah, thank you. We're happy to see that Frank's on the mend, too. I
Yes.
think we may see a little surprise
We'll see.
today.
He might pop in at some point.
He may pop in, so keep it locked in on Nutmeg Sports at 2 p.m. But last night in volleyball, it was Ridgefield defeating Danbury in 3 sets. Greenwich beat Ludlow in 3 sets, and New Canaan beat Central in 3 sets. It was Ward taking down St. Joe's 3 sets to 1. Wilton took down Staples 3 sets to 2. West Hill losing to Norwalk 3 sets to 1. Darien defeating Trinity 3 sets, and then Trumbull beating McMahon 3 sets to 1. And in field hockey, it was Greenwich beating West Hill 3-1, and Norwalk beating Trumbull 6-3 in a big thriller. In overtime, it was Darien beating Ward 1-0 in overtime. And the field hockey FCAC quarterfinal schedule has been released, which will start tomorrow, October 28th. Number 8 Trumbull will take on number 1 Wilton. That game will be at 4. Number 7 Ludlow will take on number 2 Staples. Number 6 Greenwich will take on number 3 Darien. And number 5 New Canaan will take on number 4 Norwalk. Today's boys soccer quarterfinal between Ludlow and Danbury has been canceled due to weather. It will be rescheduled for tomorrow. That will do it for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Tune in at 2 p.m. for Nutmeg Sports. Like we said, we may have a little surprise for you at 2 o'clock. We will break down all the playoff matchups around the FCAC, so that will do it for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Thanks,
All right,
Kate.
thanks. And that is if his face swelling goes.
That's right.
We won't explain any further what happened, but all right. Well, Back to news today. In New Canaan, M. Milestone Stationery Invitations and Gift Store on Forest Street is closing its doors for good on December 31st. The New Canaan Advertiser reports that life has changed for the husband and wife, owners and partners, Elizabeth and Dan Mulhern. So they are turning the page, thankfully, after 12 years in town. Dan left his day-to-day work at the store in April 2015 to take a corporate job with Vineyard Vines Clothing Company, and Elizabeth is choosing to spend more time with her elderly parents. Elizabeth told the Advertiser that walking away from the business is a personal choice and a family decision, and they've loved it for 12 years. A large part of the Milestones business has been personalized holiday cards, and the last order for that division will be accepted November 5th. A private #BestCustomerEver sale will be running for a limited time prior to their public sale that will begin November 15th and end when the Mulherns reach the final marker on the road of their business as 2016 concludes. And Joel Barlow High School sophomore Alana Foodman will be waking up well before the 7:30 a.m. start of Hell Day for the Heroes event that she's helped organize this Saturday, October 29th at the Danbury War Memorial. But there's one person, she said, who might be getting up even earlier, and that's her sister, Leah Foodman, who's a freshman at West Point. Leah's decision to attend West Point opened a whole new world of thinking about military vets and servicemen and women, according to Alana. Hell Days for the Hero is a fundraising event for Help Our Military Heroes, a nonprofit based out of Easton that gives away new handicapped vans to veterans wounded in recent military conflicts. Participants in groups of 4 or less raise money before the event and then must complete 500 push-ups, 500 burpees, 500 sit-ups, and 500 air squats that morning. Last year, the event raised $50,000, and this year, organizers hope to raise $60,000. Residents can sign up as a team to participate, or they can donate at helldayforheroes.everydayhero.do. You can also get a lot more information at thereadingpilot.com. I'm pretty sure Frank Anito is going to be participating in that all on his own, so good luck to him. We'll definitely give him a camera and check that out. But we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, John Kovach joins me, and we're going to preview our front pages this week on your coffee break after this.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking, to a partner that makes small businesses feel big, where community comes first, where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch, where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver, where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well, bank smart, bank local, bank well.
1, 2, 3, Abby! You know!
I want to find out how good I am.
Yes, sir! If you relax, you get blown out. Let's get it done! Let's get it done!
What can you take advantage of right now?
Again, come on!
I can push myself way beyond what you think.
Pressure technique. Bring it back.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Ends October 31st.
Washington Prime, now open on Main Street in Georgetown. Come enjoy our relaxed setting, excellent service, award-winning nightly happy hours, and feast on our creative new American cuisine. Connecticut Magazine's winner for Best Steak, Washington Prime of Georgetown.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure with me, Steve Coulter, and our Arts and Leisure editor, Sally Sanders, Mondays at 12:30, right here on the HAN Network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter, and I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune into Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
We're back on this Thursday edition of your Coffee Break. John Kovach, our editorial director, joins me now to preview our front pages this week. John?
Elections.
But something fun inside the Milford Mirror this week.
Yes, there is. Milford, our repackaged answer book. That's adding the
Be sure to
exclamation.
note the exclamation point. I do love that photo by Audra Napolitano.
Beautiful photo by
and a lot of
Audra.
great information in our answer book, so very cool.
Really, we're putting features in them now, more photos, and everything you really need to know about the town. Taking a look at the regular section of the Mirror, Eli's on Daniel Street is closer to getting a patio. It's trying to get through P&Z. Blue ribbons that you'll see around Milford are being installed in support of Danny Kemp. She is a student and softball player, athlete who is battling cancer right now. And some coverage of the election, legislative candidates. Where are you starting?
All right, well, I'm at the Easton Courier right now, an amazing story that we talked about yesterday on Coffee Break and also on CT Pulse, and great video that went along with this at eastoncourier.com. But this dog basically was sinking into this muddy spot and had to be pulled out by emergency crews there. The dog is safe and sound, but again, great video of that and more on that story at eastoncourier.com and in this week's paper. And a story you're going to see on a lot of our front pages, and that's that Himes and Shaben disagree on future challenges, but agree on some other issues in a 4th district debate that just happened last weekend, so be sure to check that out. Also, some information from a security expert on how you can secure your internet, your computers, your technology at home after hackers disrupted some major U.S. websites.
Looking at that photo atop the Easton Courier, one of the things that strikes me, the video is very compelling. I think the still really hammers home how deep the muck was and how difficult it must have been to get in there and safely rescue that dog. Switching to New Canaan, discussion of political retribution, which we as editors hear about all the time. I can't use my name, I can't say that, and a discussion as to whether or not it is real. There's a League of Women Voters Forum coming up on November 1st where you can meet the candidates and discuss charter revision. And Mike Pastor, who's longtime Director of Public Works in New Canaan, announcing his retirement.
All right, taking a look at the front page of the Shelton Herald, story we reported on earlier this week, but a man found dead on his Longfellow Road property. Police say they do not believe there's any foul play suspected in that death, but that investigation is ongoing. Shelton robotics team, the Shelton High School robotics team gears up for the competition. Shelton really has very vibrant robotics programs at their schools, so, very exciting for them. Of course, election coverage, Himes and Shaben. And
just combine them into one.
They'd love that. And incumbent state rep Jason Perillo challenged by Democrat Heller. And a dirt bike rider fined for riding on city's walking trails. That's an ongoing issue in Shelton, people riding ATVs and dirt bikes on those trails.
In Monroe, there is debate over a sidewalk project and the bidding associated with it. And the school district is taking a look at student scores. It's that time of year as well.
All right, taking a look at the front page of the Trumbull Times, of course, more of that debate coverage that we've been talking about. And a fun photo from Trunk or Treat, which happened Friday, October 21st at Booth Hill School. A really great witch costume right there. Scary. I might have been scared of that if I was a kid. And police union saying that police commissioner, Roger McGovern, shamed the department. Again, he has said he won't step down. There's an ethics investigation going on. He did not get any criminal charges filed against him after allegedly impersonating an officer after a minor traffic incident and kind of allegedly harassing a Stop and Shop cashier about that.
One of those stories that's just going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back.
Right, and a preliminary drawing igniting a war of words. A rendering of a MedExpress building reignited a long-standing feud between First Selectman Tim Herbst and Planning and Zoning Chairman Fred Garrity. Nothing new there. Those two are often battling. And of course, this is going to be on the front page of some of our other FCAC papers, but watch FCAC playoffs online, on TV, and on the HAN Network app. Be sure to check that story out. A lot of good stuff.
In Stratford, more political Theater, the WPCA, which oversees the water treatment plant, is trying to hire an attorney. The town says it can't do so. The committee insists that it can, so stay tuned there. Discussion of an affordable housing application. Public meeting, and this will be interesting and will tie in with a couple of stories there. The affordable housing application and the center school demolition. All that will tie together November 9th when there is a public meeting on transit-oriented development, something they're trying to push in downtown Stratford. And a sign of the times downtown, it's right across from Town Hall, Stratford High School, and that is the pumpkin patch outside the Stratford United Methodist Church. Cute seasonal photo there by Melvin Mason.
All right. Well, taking a look at the front page of the Ridgefield Press, there was some chili tastings at the Prospector Theater last weekend, so we have a photo from that. Also, costume kits to take over the town on Saturday morning and Monday night. It's going to be a lot of fun Halloween events happening in Ridgefield. Also, a vice chairman of the school board stepping down to take over as manager at Squashes, which is a downtown business there. Math scores lagging on the state test, according to a report by Macklin Reed, and a plan for a Branchville area of Ridgefield that could add a light and move bridge and close a road. So a lot more on that. Check it out.
The Darien Times did something interesting, and they went around and took photos of some of the more creative and scary Halloween decorations, and there's one captured by Laureen Valenti right in the middle of the front page, just slightly less scary than the election talk that's above it. Also, some discussion of efforts to improve water by Nicholas Roberts Fine Wines. The Board of Ed taking a look at enrollment and class size numbers, and a change in name and foundation for the Darien Foundation.
All right.
Name and logo, excuse me.
Very cool. All right, taking a look at the Wilton Bulletin. Wilton Real Estate suffered a slow summer, so more on that by Tony Spinelli. Of course, the big Himes and Shaben debate as one of the lead stories. That was by Jeanette Ross, her coverage of that. A look at the early years of World War I from a European perspective, a special event coming up, the American Legion Post 86. And a beautiful fall photo of on the Norwalk River at Merwin Meadows as the golden leaves are reflected in the water. Beautiful time of year.
Really is. In Weston, a continuance granted in that horrific animal cruelty case. More on a couple of debates there. In addition to Himes and Shaben, Tony Wong and Phil Dwyer sat down with the Weston Forum to discuss their differences as they race for state senate, and protesters are trying to save the Norfield tree, which has been marked for removal in Weston.
All right. Well, taking a look at the Reading pilot, 2 Bethel residents are in the running for state rep, which would represent Reading as well. And a story we just talked about, which a Reading sophomore helping to organize a exciting veterans fundraiser. It sounds exhausting, but it's basically a fitness event, and you raise money for a great organization. Finance Board suggests it will request an education budget cut, so more on that story. And a school climate committee focuses week on See Something, Say Something. And a Reading sculptor debuts her 3rd collaborative exhibition.
Arts and Leisure takes a look at the Wilson Avenue Loft Artist Exhibit, which is opening this weekend. That's a sense of place. And a special column by the twins, Judy and Joy, because they've been affected by breast cancer, and they're going to take a look at Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
All right. Well, John, thank you. We still have Yankee Fisherman coming up today at 1 o'clock.
Fun episode to do. I spoke with the executive director of the Catskill Fly Fishing Center and Museum. They're getting ready for Art of the Angler, November 5th and 6th in Danbury. And I was able to attend a Trout in the Classroom release with youths from Park City Prep in Bridgeport. They let them go. They did the program at Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo and then let these brook trout off into the wild in the Pequannock River right there in Beardsley Park. Was a really fun event. We have some great footage from that.
All right, cool. And 2 o'clock, Nutmeg Sports. Of course, we'll see. Will Frank Renito be here? I don't know. It's a mystery. And our game today was postponed due to the weather, but there's a lot of exciting live coverage coming at you tomorrow. So stay tuned for more on that. And we'll see you for your coffee break tomorrow at 11. Have a great afternoon.